Hello, children. So I am sure there are many people out there who just downloaded War of the Visions, our favorite game, and now have no idea about what to do next. Maybe you heard about a recent collaboration, and wanted to check the game out. Or perhaps you are simply a person of culture, who wanted to check out the waifus or husbandos. In any case, things can seem a little overwhelming when you first start the game, so Papa is here to help you with everything. By the time we are done, you will be able to tell your parents that you know pretty much everything important about the game, and I am sure they'll be proud of you. So enough foreplay, it is time for the Beginner's Guide. Part 1. Let me start a new account, and go through things as they come, so that new players can follow this guide as easily as possible. After getting through all the downloads, you'll be greeted with a bit of the story before you find yourself in a tutorial battle where you are tasked to eliminate some poor, helpless monsters who probably had no idea what was going on. After getting rid of those helpless monsters, as well as a couple of others, you will be treated to some beautiful visuals, as it is a Final Fantasy game, after all. The game will then teach you how to perform a basic summon, before showering you with all sorts of presents. Collect all of them from your gift box, and you will, finally, be given some control. It might seem that there is too much going on, when you first see this home page, but do not worry, children. Let's take things one step at a time. When it comes to games like this, getting new characters is often the most exciting part, so let's start by taking a look at how we would do that. The Summons tab will take you to this page, where you will see all the banners available at the moment, including ones only available to new players. Again, do not be overwhelmed as it's not as complicated as it looks. For now, let's only take a look at the banners that are free, and summon some new stuff. Let's try this one, which will be available to all new players. A gold book, like this one, indicates an ultra rare, which is the highest rarity in the game. It seems we have acquired Resnick, which is a lightning element, mage type unit. Let's go check her out. The first thing you should do is to take a look at your character, in 3D. Oh yes, very nice. Now, taking a look at the character page, you can see a lot of information. The first thing you may notice is that your character has a level cap of 30. Why so low? Well, that is because you have to raise that level cap, which can go all the way to a maximum of 120. You do that by raising the character's limit break and awakening levels. You can see, on the screen, the resources required to get a character to maximum awakening and limit break. Awakening requires certain resources that are unique to a certain element, while other resources that are used by all characters. Limit break levels require 2 resources. Shards, which are unique to each character, and the other resource which is, again, generic. Let's talk about shards, first. In order to get a character to maximum limit break, you will need 600 of their shards. That might sound like a lot, because it is. How do you go about acquiring these shards? Well, there are a number of ways. The shop in the game randomly has unit shards available for purchase. Visi ore will be needed to purchase these shards, which is the premium currency in the game, and must be used very wisely. There will be times when the shop doesn't have the shards that you need, so there is an element of RNG to that. But it refreshes multiple times daily, so you'll eventually come across what you need. Do note that for time-limited characters, their shards appear in any of the shops only during their limited period. Another kind of shop, which can randomly show up when you are doing quests, is the Whimsy shop. It only shows up for a short period of time, but you are certain to find a few shards for whatever you are looking for. When you spend Visio to pull on certain banners, you will get a resource called Soul Stars. You can exchange these Soul Stars for unit shards, but the rate of exchange worsens for every 20 shards that you exchange for. Characters available during limited periods, or when characters are first introduced, you will have certain missions available to you, which will reward you with that character's shards. When characters are first available, you can also get some of their shards in exchange for gil, which is a far less valuable resource when compared to Visio, as gil is farmable. If you are trying to get shards for a non-limited character, like Resnick, you can do their unique quests, called hard quests, every day to acquire 2 of their shards. If you already have a character, and you end up getting them again, you won't have 2 of those characters, instead the second one will be converted into shards. There are a couple of other ways, and I'll mention them as they come up. Going back to the character screen, we can see that there is a section dedicated to the character's jobs. Each character has access to 1 main job, and 2 sub-jobs. Leveling up these jobs unlocks their skills and abilities, while also making your character stronger. The resources required to level up these jobs are farmable, so they aren't too much trouble. These jobs, initially, can be leveled up to level 15. Now, I said that you need to get your character to max limit break, and max awakening, to get them to level 99, right? Well, after you've done that, and after you have leveled up all of their jobs, your character's EX job will become available to them, which will allow them to get all the way to level 120. These EX jobs require plenty of resources, but they are well worth it, as your character's true potential won't be realized, until they get to level 120. The main resource that will be needed, would be 400 of the character's mind spheres. After you have already acquired 600 of a unit's shards, any future shards that you gain for them will be converted into their mind spheres. That might seem like you need 1000 of a unit's shards to get them from level 1 to level 120, but mind spheres are slightly easier to acquire than shards, so it's a little different. You should be getting the idea that building up a character requires a lot of resources and effort, and you would be right, my child. There are some ways to make things easier for new players, however. Taking another look at the banners, you'll notice that new players have access to a banner, which gets them a level 99 unit. The tutorial summon that we did on this account earlier, also got us a level 99 unit. That is, practically, saving the need to get 600 shards for each of those units. So one could say that these 2 banners are decent ways for people to reroll, until they get characters that they are happy with. There are characters that are, practically speaking, better to reroll for than others. A character like Ildira, who is a mage-type character with spells that cover a large area, would be quite beneficial at the beginning of the game, as she will make farming much easier for you. There is a way to get Ildira for free eventually, but the amount of time that would take is significant, when you can just get her from the beginning. But if you do not have the patience to reroll for a specific character, there are many other units that can serve you well. I'll try to go over them in part 2 of this guide. There are many other facets of this game that we will definitely need to go over, but we can get to them next time. War of the Visions is the kind of game that works like a marathon. Everything takes time, as you saw with character building. But this is an amazing game, if you give it a proper shot. Next time, we will look at the various kinds of equipment that your characters can put on, the PvP and PvE side of things, and how new players should go about trying to become competitive, if they want to feel naughty. Have a good day, new children, and may the light of the crystals guide you.